Yo, what's up guys, and welcome to InfernoKun, back with a long overdue video that I usually put out around the Christmas time, looking back at Telltale's episodes and scenes that I thought were the best in the year. But I've been busy, of course, with the holidays, and then after that I got addicted to Overwatch competitive, trying to get into Platinum, and then after that I got kind of sick, so I couldn't really record. So now we're here, and now I'm able to go ahead and tell you guys my top 10 Telltale scenes of 2016. We had two major releases in 2016, that being all 5 episodes of Batman, and then we had the release of 2 episodes of The Walking Dead: A New Frontier. But then we also had the release of a 3-part miniseries, The Walking Dead: Michonne. So I'll be going over my favorite scenes from all these episodes combined, and that will be my list for this video. Be sure to comment your favorite scenes from The Walking Dead: Michonne, The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, and Batman the Telltale series. I want to see what your list actually contains, so let's go ahead and get into the video.
Hey, Zsasz! Hello, Zsasz.
What the hell do you want?
Settle a bet. What happens if you make a tally mark before you kill someone?
What are you talking about?
Number 10 goes to a moment that happened in Batman episode 4 Guardians of Gotham. We had, of course, between Joker and Victor Zsasz. We know Joker likes to cause a bunch of just random chaos and stuff, and we know Zsasz likes to tally mark his body whenever he gets a kill, and using that as a drive, and using that to provoke Zsasz to go ahead and kill someone by mistallying his body was actually a pretty cool scene to see. He's obviously just going a bit crazy because he's been mistallied without actually having a kill, and using that as a distraction was actually pretty cool as well, because you get to go ahead and call or either stop the fight, and it made for a pretty scene. You see Joker just going ahead and laughing his ass off, and of course Victor Zsasz going to kill one of the assistants over in Arkham Asylum. So overall, it was pretty cool involving the Joker in that scene, and of course Victor Zsasz as well. I definitely like seeing Zsasz, and it made for a pretty cool moment in episode 4.
Good luck on the outside, Bruce!
I just know you're gonna put on quite a show.
Randall isn't worth all this shit.
Gabby, listen to me.
After everything they've done, you're still giving them more chances. We deserve retribution.
Don't do this! Stop! No!
Number 9 goes to the encounter we had with Norma's group and Michonne's group in The Walking Dead: Michonne episode 3, What We Deserve. Now, The Walking Dead: Michonne didn't really have too much depth to it, and there wasn't really a point to it, but that game actually had some pretty awesome cinematography and just set pieces in general, and that made it a whole lot better, just seeing these epic things that Michonne does, and basically what happened in terms of the story was very interesting. But this part in particular, where we had Norma actually trying to negotiate to get her brother back, was actually just, it showed how much, she just wanted to get her brother back and didn't want anything else. And it also, the way it turned out, how, they end up shooting Berto, and either shooting, Oak and everything else, it made for a pretty awesome scene, especially when shit goes down. Walkers comes in, and Randall, if you go ahead and leave him alive, he actually just jumps on top of Michonne and tries to beat the shit out of her. And after that, the whole shootout and just leaving Norma to die, determinately leaving her to die or either shooting her, made for a pretty awesome scene. Just seeing her getting torn apart by walkers and either just leaving her to die or shooting her, that was definitely a really awesome choice and really made for a pretty cool scene.
Cool.
Here we are with number 8, where I mentioned it in my review for The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, Ties That Bind Part 1, the first episode. I mentioned that this scene was one of my favorites in the entire episode, because basically it was a surprise. I didn't expect them to actually go ahead and kill off Mariana, and people were kind of disappointed that she actually died. which I was too, but it made for a big impact. They went ahead and developed her very, very, very well, and then just killed her off right then and there. And it was an impactful scene. You could see the emotion in Javier, how he felt, especially if you say, I'm gonna fucking kill them all. It was just a lot of emotion going on, and it made for a shocking moment, a pretty cool scene that shows that, you know, just your family member getting killed right in front of you, and why you will end up probably hating the New Frontier a hell of a lot more in future episodes. So it's kind of sad because Mariana was my favorite character. Like, she would have been my like all-time favorite because of how cool she was and how much of her humanity was still intact. She was definitely a really awesome character, but seeing her just getting shot in the head like that, it was shock value, yes, but it was pretty, you know, awesome shock value. So rest in peace, Mariana. You will always be my favorite character in episode 1.
I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna kill all of them.
That's not gonna bring her back, Harvey.
So what? I'm just supposed to let him live?
If you really want to help your family, you'll come with me.
I could have talked them down.
I'm not taking any chances. Get ready.
Number 7 goes to a scene that was in The Walking Dead Michonne episode 2, Give No Shelter, where we had Michonne trying to escape Monroe and actually causing havoc there and killing all of the citizens and burning the boats and everything else. It was a pretty awesome scene. You can see her just slicing people, drop kicking people, shooting flares, blowing up boats, and it was definitely a really chaotic and really awesome scene that I like to see. There was a lot of depth to it in terms that these people were pretty much just citizens there. They were trying to protect their home, and Michonne just being a stranger there who was actually a prisoner who was pretty much mistakenly, you know, imprisoned. And it made for a pretty, you know, morally pulling scene, but also a pretty awesome scene, just seeing how Michonne deals with people in terms of just killing them and trying to escape. And it made for a pretty awesome scene trying to escape from Monroe. So this one was definitely really cool, especially with Pete. And like I said, the morals were kind of just, you know, mixed up with, you know, oh, Pete doesn't like this. This is awful. We're killing people, innocent people who are just trying to protect their home. But, you know, we kind of just don't want to be imprisoned wrongly. So I give props for that. That was definitely a well thought out scene that was actually pretty horrible if you think about it.
Batman! You certainly know how to make an entrance.
Number 6 goes to a really shocking, or just, you know, generally awesome scene that happened in Batman episode 2, Children of Arkham. That being the whole debate with Mayor Hill and Harvey Dent, where we actually have the Penguin coming in and wreaking havoc there. And it also ends off with, of course, choosing to save either Harvey Dent or Selina Kyle. This scene was definitely just, you know, overall, like, one of the greatest, because we had Penguin here, who is such an awesome character. Like, he's probably the best rendition of the Penguin in, you know, throughout all of the mediums he has been in. This Penguin is actually really great. And then we had, of course, you know, Catwoman, who we are close to, and Harvey Dent, who we are also close to. Just choosing between them was a really hard choice with a bunch of payoff, because you get to see Harvey getting his scorched face, and it was definitely just really powerful seeing that happen to him, how Penguin just smashed him with a spotlight. And overall the scene was just, you know, very powerful with the whole Thomas Wayne reveal. And then we had, of course, just having Penguin there just causing havoc, and then we had Harvey Dent, if you chose to, getting his face scorched. It was a pretty powerful scene if you go ahead and went that route.
Harvey.
Where's the maniac in the mask? We need paramedics over here, now!
We can hide in here. Don't worry. It's gonna be okay.
Number 5 goes to the flashback that happened in The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, Ties That Bind Part 2, where we had, of course, Clementine and AJ running away from walkers, them being alone. And the premise of that part was definitely really cool. I mean, I personally would have liked more of that as the whole season premise, but of course that's not it. But this scene, just having Clementine and AJ together, just like surviving on their own, would just be so cool. And just seeing how everything plays out, where we have, you know, where we have to quiet AJ down and to deal with, you know, Ava who comes in. That was definitely a really cool scene. It shows how Clementine was definitely in a desperate moment because she had no one. Of course, she just, you know, lost Kenny and lost, of course, or Jane as well. Or she was just alone the whole time. She was alone. She had no one. She met Ava, who was with this group, who had supplies and stuff, and the person at the group, Ava, was actually pretty nice, so it just shows that she had really no other choice than to join. But then, of course, whenever she realized the truth about them, you know, it just, she didn't want to be a part of it anymore. And this scene adds to the fact that Clementine just, you know, she just wanted to have people around her. And personally, I would have liked, you know, season 3 to start like this. That would have been awesome. But of course that's not it. It was an awesome flashback though. Forget episode 1 flashback. Okay, this flashback was actually pretty good. It makes me want this flashback to be the actual present time. That's how good it was to me. I don't know. It was just really, really cool.
His real parents are gone. I'm all he has.
And he's cute and lucky. He has someone looking after him. Not much of that anymore.
Your kids need you to stay strong.
You're right. I'm all they have.
Number 4 is yet another scene from The Walking Dead Michonne episode 2, Give No Shelter. Here we have basically Michonne versus Randall. Now we had a confrontation with him multiple times. In episode 1 you can go ahead and actually try to jump him. It didn't go out so well. In episode 2 you can go ahead and actually jump him and Norma. That went well. And then in episode 2 again we go ahead and fight pretty much one-on-one almost. We had of course Pete going in on him as well, just fighting Randall and just him being on top of Michonne, punching, and Michonne slamming his face into the table and actually hitting him with a shovel, and then Randall just dislocating her arm. It made for a pretty awesome scene, and I actually love the cinematography done there, and or the choreography, whichever one it was. I don't know which one it is. But anyways, you know, it was a pretty awesome just seeing them fight out for so long and all the stuff they were doing. It was definitely well animated, and it just felt like Randall was this powerhouse. Michonne could barely hold her own against him. I mean, she did it pretty well. She did awesome. And he was just doing so much. He took so much of a beating, and Michonne just slamming him and actually just locking him up like by his hands. It was pretty gruesome. It was pretty awesome. Definitely my favorite scene in The Walking Dead Michonne. I just loved how it went down, how everything played out in that scene. And when you go ahead and keep tightening the vice on him, it just was pretty awesome. I love that scene. Definitely a moment to remember from The Walking Dead Michonne, for me at least.
Kids, you know, their skulls don't break so much as kind of melt like a rotted pumpkin. Guess I hit a button.
Not one step further.
Now, come on, Al. Put the rifle down. I'm not gonna hurt you.
Somehow, I don't believe you.
Oh look, another scene with Harvey Dent in it. Okay, so this one is in Batman episode 4, Guardian of Gotham. Probably one of the greatest things I have seen in this game. So pretty much we have, if you go ahead and go after Harvey Dent at Wayne Manor in episode 4. Now to have the full immersion, you have to go ahead and not save him in episode 2. I gotta tell you, this one was just so awesome, just seeing Batman just struggle and fight against Harvey and his goons. Not only was it so well animated and just so well choreographed, it was just an epic fight between Harvey and Batman. Whenever he's like, "You'll need more than that to stop me, Harvey," and he pulled out his shotgun with explosive rounds, that just made it awesome. And then whenever he was about to lose, when he pulls out the bats to come in, that was just insanely awesome. It reminded me of, I don't recall if it was in Batman Begins or The Dark Knight, but it was definitely in that scene, and it was just really, really awesome. We've seen it in the games, or the Arkham games as well, and it was just incredible. And then whenever he throws the Batarang into his shotgun and it actually burns off his suit, I was like, I'm done. This is the greatest thing I've seen. This is way better than Penguins. I mean, even though I feel like Harvey did have two of the best scenes in episode 4 and 5, I felt like Penguins was no match for Harvey's. Those were definitely really awesome. So I give props to Telltale for creating such an iconic representation of these scenes. It was definitely one of the greatest moments I've seen. And then whenever you had the choice to go ahead and send him to Arkham or send him to prison, it was definitely, it was a lot of things going on there that made it just so great. So props to them for this moment. It was really, really awesome.
Don't you give up on me, Harvey. I know you're still in there. I still believe in Harvey Dent.
That's good to hear.
Fuck. Yeah. All right.
That's good. Just keep looking forward.
Number 2 goes to meeting Clementine as Javier in The Walking Dead: A New Frontier, Episode 1, Ties That Bind, Part 1. Now, Clementine is very, very changed. I'm glad she's actually in A New Frontier because, you know, I would prefer to have her be the main protagonist again, but just seeing her come back and seeing her this changed was actually really crazy because she swears frequently, she's alone, and a ton of other things that makes her so different from the Clementine in Season 1 or even in Season 2. So meeting her in Season 3 was definitely something that made her feel like she was an entirely different person. She acted totally different than herself in Season 2, and I kinda like it a lot because she's more hardened now, which I do like a lot more. I think that just her being like hardened, her not trusting anybody, her just being this badass person, being kinda edgy, is really, really cool. Definitely really, really different. It just shows how much she's been through and how much she just done to get to this point, and her just changing up a lot actually just makes a little bit of sense because she's been through many deaths, she's been through many hard times, and she's sick of it. She's probably sick of it. She's sick of everyone's shit and she's not taking it anymore, pretty much. So that's why I like this scene. I mean, personally, I would have, you know, liked to play as this badass Clementine, but unfortunately that's not possible because Telltale's evil, right? Yeah, okay. But she comes off as a dick to people, and it's really, really just like, I want to support her, but she's just so mean. And I like that, you know, it's really cool. So I'm not sure how to feel. I'm mixed that she is really awesome, but you know, it's just so cool seeing that she can handle herself, but she's also just kicking down walkers and stabbing them. She's carrying a shotgun, and it just really feels like I have seen her change so much. But I want to see why these changes were the best and why it will actually affect her as a person. Obviously, she's a lot more, you know, aggressive, a lot more just angry, but personally I like that. Actually, she still has, you know, humanity. She's still nice, she still laughs, she still smiles, so it definitely shows how much she's changed, and I just want to play as her more now. Thank you, Telltale. Don't worry, I still love Harvey, he's pretty awesome, but you know, I really want to play as Clementine. I don't know why. Or I do know why, because she's awesome. If they adapted a Tales from the Borderlands like playable character system where you just switch around every once in a while, then there we go, Game of the Year 2017.
Muertos.
What do you call them?
Walkers.
What do you call the ones that run?
They're all fucking walkers, okay?
Interesting how you speak to him. So familiar. Alfred. Such concern. For someone you've never met before.
Now I know I praised the Harvey Dent scene in episode 4 Guardians of Gotham, but there was one scene that actually kinda outplayed it for me, and that being in Batman episode 5 City of Light, where we have the Batman versus Vicky Vale, or Lady Arkham, or Victoria Arkham, whichever one you want to call it, I don't know. Anyways, this scene, this fight was definitely probably one of the best solo fights I've ever seen from Telltale. Like, Game of Thrones has some pretty awesome ones, and then of course Walking did have some pretty cool ones as well, but this hands down was the best solo fight Telltale has made. The animation, of course, I keep saying that, animation was definitely on point, the choreography was on point, everything was just on point in this scene, just how it actually played out in terms of story as well, actually revealing yourself if you chose to. That makes for a pretty interesting scene, and the whole fight, just everything about it was definitely really cool. I just love being in that continuous fight with her, and it was overall like probably one of the best. There isn't much I can say about it because it was just a lot going on. The set was definitely really awesome, just seeing the tombs actually collapsing and being in so much danger while still trying to take her down was definitely really cool to see. And plus, it's crazy how Telltale took Vicky Vale and made her into the main villain of Batman. Vicky Vale, the reporter, that's all she is. That's crazy, man. What? It's like whenever it comes to masked people in Telltale games like The Stranger in Tales and Lady Arkham and Batman, just think of the most unexpected person and you'll have your masked stranger guy. It's crazy.
You belong in this place, Bruce. Lost, forgotten, buried. And Gotham will not mourn. The sins of the Wayne bloodline end here.
Shout out to the intimate scene between Batman and Catwoman. Not really sure why it was there, but I liked it. It was pretty cool. I'm joking, calm down. Jesus Christ. But anyways, yeah, pretty awesome year for Telltale in terms of episodes with just awesome scenes. There were a bunch of stuff, Batman, The Walking Dead, Michonne, and A New Frontier. All were pretty solid contenders for this list. Love it all. I mean, I think Minecraft Story Mode came out this year, but I didn't actually know that. I forgot, which I didn't really add them in any of my list anyway. But anyways, it was pretty awesome. Hopefully 2017 will be better. We have the 3 episodes of The Walking Dead, A New Frontier coming out this year, and we have Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy coming out this year as well. What else will come out? I don't know. Will Game of Thrones finally get a release date? Will we have the Super Show? Will we have Star Wars? Please, just give me Star Wars and I'll be fine. Anyways, that's pretty much it for me as of right now. Go ahead and list down below your favorite scenes in 2016 from Telltale. I want to see your comments. And of course, give me a thumbs up if you guys did like the video. Also, shout out to the Jane flashback and Kenny flashback where he actually gets thrown out of a car. Best scene. Jane flashback, awesome scene. Enough of that. Anyways, go ahead and subscribe if you guys have not already, and I will catch you guys next time on Telltale. Maybe not. Back to Overwatch. Goodbye.